Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show you how I got from Chichester Marina over to Gosport Marina near Portsmouth. That's from that right hand red blob over to the left there. A couple of weeks ago, the red arrow shows the wind directions, so I wanted to sail if I could. So I thought after getting to waypoint 1 outside Chchester Harbour, I would head south for 3 miles to get a better angle on the wind, but it didn't work out like that, so take a look and see what happened. Here are the tides. High tide was at 2:30, low tide at 7:30 in the evening. So these charts show how the tide flows past the Isle of Wight, and what you'll see is that only when you get to about high water -2 there, and then continuing high water -1, high water, are the tidal flows going from right to left to carry me the direction I wanted to go. So there was no point in leaving before high water -2 because I'd be fighting a tide, and then I had about until about 5:30 before the tide went back again. So here's where it turns. If you notice top right on that tidal stream, it flips there. Because I couldn't then go because of the wind, I cut off that 3 miles south section and just headed straight to Gosport. Take a look. Chichester, this is Sambagita, over.
Sambagita, Chichester, go ahead.
Chichester, Sambagita, I'm single-handed today. I request lockout when convenient, please. Over.
Sambagita, Chichester, shouldn't be a problem. If you want to slip your lines, make it into the fairway, we'll get you out as soon as we can.
Will do. Chichester, Sambagita, over.
Sambagita, Chichester, just so you're aware, we're about to start reaping maybe the next 10-15 minutes, so it might be easier for you to hold station on your berth, over.
Yeah, I've slipped my berth, so I think I'll do the lock if that's okay. Over.
Sambagita, that's no problem at all.
Lockout 12:48. Boat is looking good. Motorboat coming the other way, but he'll pass to my port side. Engine sounds good. Just under 1500 RPMs and doing 4.3. Be nice to do above 4 knots, but I will have a tide coming in to begin with. Some fun, some live music maybe over at the yacht club. So I've got my autopilot in auto mode, newly installed yesterday. Really I ought to calibrate it by going in circles, but not in this wind. So because I'm not going to try and steer a specific course on it, I'm happy if it's off, because it'll still track to whatever error it's got, if you know what I mean. So right now it's holding a course. I've got a sailboat off my starboard bow and another sailboat coming up under motor behind me, a couple actually. The wind is consistently over 20. It's right now 22 and it's been going up to 25. So yeah, it's going to be a windy one. I think I should consider this a positioning trip for tomorrow, where everyone's coming the other way, is having good fun under a headsail, and I don't think I should get myself into difficulty. So I brought my fenders in, but I'm even going to leave those on the sides there on the decks. And only if conditions change significantly will I try and put sails up. I'm watching people like this sailing yacht, and fair play to them. They're beating into the wind. They're also I'm going to have to take some manoeuvres, I think, but they're also heeled over and a bunch of stuff, so which I'd rather not be, especially on my own. Although he knows what he's doing, and he looks like he's on his own, but this is my first time solo sailing, and I've never had the main up, so I'm not even too sure of the, I don't want to stress test the rig on my own. So that takes the pressure off a little bit. Let's get out into the mouth of Chchester Harbour and see what the weather's like there. But yeah, it's consistently over 20, in the low 20s now. There's some really fast big dinghies here. Look at them, flying along. Wow, another one coming. Fantastic, that looks great. Having fun flying along. Bunch of boats going out. Autopilot, auto tiller seems to be doing a good job. It really does. I'm okay with that. So I've got it on a, trying to do this, get it to hold a heading. So as we get blown around, it adjusts. Yeah, that's all right. Gives me a chance to hold on and observe. I've reprogrammed the route because I was going to head 3 miles south to then be able to pick up the wind, but let's see, it's only 16 knots here, 17. Let's see what it's like out there. Because it's not in a good direction. It's not in a good direction for sailing today. Not to Gosport anyway. Still we're doing all right. And the little thing is adjusting away. Yeah, nice. I quite like it here. I'm finding, yeah, but this, it's this land, isn't it? This land is protecting us. Damn it. So yeah, when we get beyond the headland, it's going to pick up again. It's going to pick up again. I want to come and explore this. I used to play around here as a kid. We had a boat on Hayling Island and we used to walk around here. My mum called it the circular walk, just like those people. I don't remember these rocks. They must be new erosion protection. Can you see the spray splashing, getting caught up on those waves? Whee! Oh yeah, we're sailing. Well, we're boating anyway, we're not sailing. It's always a bit frothy around here. I remember my dad telling me that. So we'll get through this over to the end of the tower marking the end of Chichester Bar. Right, just gone past West Pole. It's very swelly, but I'm hoping as I get away from Chichester Bar it'll settle down. It normally does, my dad told me, so I've got to learn for myself. But that was fun. It's great having the auto tiller because I can hang on with both hands. And just made our right hand turn. It started, given we're going to go direct, just press +10. Auto tiller does the rest. That might be so obvious for all of you, but I've never used one before. Not even on my training. Last time I pressed a button on an auto tiller was in the Panama Canal when I was helping the mothership adrift family take their boat through the Panama Canal. They've been right round the world since then. They're now back in the Mediterranean. And yeah, we're just in for a bit of a choppy ride, but I'm absolutely loving it. It's a really good shakedown motor, if nothing else. Well, it's 3:15. Just went past South Cardinal, heading towards a fort with Spinnaker Tower and Portsmouth over there. I think I've got about an hour to go. Very rolly, but great fun, quite exhilarating. And it's just lovely being out on the boat out here for the first time and just feeling, I mean, Moody's I know they're heavy, they're not a racer, they're known as a very steady boat, a very solid boat, and I can kind of feel what people mean, I think. She just sits so well, and just just gives me a feeling of confidence really through these quite high waves. So we're not sailing, but we're still having fun. I am looking at people going the other direction, and they look to be having a lot of fun, and we'll be doing that tomorrow. Bit of a 360 for you. Oh, I just got a wet back of the head then. There's something so pretty about seeing your prop wash, is it, on the surface of the water there, especially when you go over these waves and sort of the water jets up. A couple of pans on the radio, a few people needing assistance or a tow, etc. It's just good, nice listening to the radio chatter and getting more used to it. I can stand up here for a sec. This is the port side. Hey. Every now and again, because it's first time out, I'm keeping an eye on the anchor, but she's very securely tied on. I know one YouTuber lost his anchor, which wasn't tied on well, and it came underneath and damaged. Well, I think it wrote off the boat. But I've got a really good line around the anchor. It's getting a nice wash. Keeping an eye on the head sail, just making sure it doesn't unfurl in the wind. But it isn't. Everything's fine. I'm on channel 16, emergency channel. but I will change to 11 when I get past the fort, which is the port listening channel for Portsmouth. But all in all, I feel safe. Ah, damn it, that fender's come down. Let's go. I don't want to take them in when I'm solo, and I'm going to have to put them out again. Lots of handholds on this boat, which feels good. Oh, especially standing here. I feel very confident standing here. Just wish I had some buttons to change the course by a few degrees. Is that a lobster pot floating out there? That pink ball? Don't know if you can see that in the waves. Looks like it. Always got to keep an eye out for them. It's only 7 meters. I went past some floating plastic earlier. I wasn't close enough to even think about stopping picking it up, but you wouldn't want that wrapped around your prop, a sheet of plastic. Steady 2,000 RPM still, and we're doing between 4.5 and 5 knots speed over ground. In 20, it's kind of between 18 and 25 the winds, and look at the angle. It's between 0 and 30 degrees off the port side, so not an angle to sail in. And as many of you will already know, there's a underwater barrier between the land and the fort, and there is a narrow there is a narrow opening that boats like this can go through, and I've done that before, but I wanted to come around the fort today. But yeah, you can't just go anywhere, otherwise you might hit the underwater barrier to protect Portsmouth back in the day. Who knows, maybe again. Just bringing you back as the Brittany ferry crosses our bow. Winds are 23, pretty steady, 22, 23, gusting over 25. So yes, it's quite windy. It's quite nice in this cockpit. It does give you good protection, but it's getting such a good wash, you probably can't see through the plastic. Anyway, Brittany ferries crossing our bow. Hey, woo! So good. Amazing. Well, I would have no problem and no fear coming out in 25 knots. Bit of wind over tide. Swell in the Solent. This boat is lovely, solid. That ferry steaming along nicely. Bit of noise on channel 16. Another pan. Quite far away, quite hard to pick out. I've heard about 3 pans. Let's
Subject Coast Guard understood, however, declared assets are only to be used in case of safeguarding life, as there is no risk to life at present. Sea Star are a more appropriate option at this time, over.
That's interesting. So there's a pan, but I think that was saying the light. I think it was well, they wouldn't respond. Coast Guard wouldn't respond because there's no threat to life. It's not a mayday, but they'll monitor that. I'm going to switch to 11 and see what's going on the port channel. And we'll monitor that. Might hear some of these boats coming in and out. I can't see any other ferries at the moment, but I will need to cross from the east to the west to get into the small boat channel, so I do need to stay alert so I don't disrupt something big and important and hard to maneuver. So I'm crossing the main channel now. I've got a sailing yacht off the port bow, keeping an eye on that. Hovercraft in the distance, but that's heading out. So I'm just scanning for one of the other ferries or hovercrafts or anything. There's a large sailing yacht, but he just called up Portsmouth VTS to say he's going to drop his mast and come in the main channel. We're going to go down the small craft channel, so I don't need to call VTS, Portsmouth VTS.
Elevator 28, Portsmouth VTS, happy for you to proceed inbound for Gosport.
So a lot of the chatter is people crossing from Gosport over to Portsmouth Island itself, which is a requirement. If you want to cross that channel, you've got to call Portsmouth VTS. Isn't Portsmouth interesting though? Apart from the fact it'd be nice to go past an aircraft carrier, but pleasure boats, ferries, hovercraft, not many of those are in the world left anymore, and naval ships. I mean, come on.
Portsmouth VTS.
VTS, it's Mary. Just looking for permission to cross from Ballast and Gosport, please. Over.
Mary, Portsmouth VTS, all approved to cross.
See, thanks. Let's go.
Another boat crossing. So that's 4 bar. So yes, now I should be on the left hand side. Gosport Marina. This is Sampaguita, over.
Sampaguita, this is Gosport Marina, go ahead, over.
Gosport, Sampaguita, I have booked to be a visitor with you this evening. I have not been to you before. Request check-in instructions, please. Over.
Sampaguita, this is Gosport, that's all copied. I've got your berthing details here. If you can make your way to Golf 24, that's Golf 24, which is a port size 2 berth. If you go bows in, if you can give us a call when you are all settled and plugged in, I can get your power switched off for you, over.
Gosport, Sampaguita, Golf 24, that's through the north entrance, I believe. Will do, over. beautiful. I drive Rebecca mad by always looking behind the boat, but there's just something photogenic and beautiful about seeing your own wake and the ripples from your propeller. The only problem is you're not looking where you're going. Yep, and there's G, there's golf. That's what we want. Just go around this breakwater. I actually don't want the trip to end. I know I'm going slow, 1.8 knots, but when I stop, I'm done. I'm done for the day. And it's 4:30. And that sun is beating down. It's absolutely beautiful. So when I'm coming in, let's look at the Windex. So the wind is going to be, the wind's going to be pushing me off. So I'm going to have to be a little bit sprightly, grab at least one line. It's almost going to be on the beam, so maybe I'll leap off with both lines. Loop one, loop the other. At least it's not going to be carrying me in or out of the actual berth, you know. I hate it when, like if I arrived at mine now, the wind will be pushing my bow onto the end of the pontoon. Whereas this is quite nice. So, bit of a breeze actually, 12.5 knots from the beam pushing me off the finger berth where I'm going to be tying up. So I need to bring it positively into the berth. And you guessed it, then my battery ran out. I promise I'll get better at this YouTube business. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Why not subscribe and see if I do get any better at checking my batteries and making these videos. But thank you for watching, and see you next time when my dad and my eldest daughter and I sail back to Chichester.